All right, this is the pizza shop. This is my Django project. I'll start by going over the models. So the models, pretty standard. We have a model for size, cheese, all the attributes of the pizza, crust, sauce, topping. Each of them has a name. Pizza, the actual pizza object, has foreign keys, which are the models we've defined above. Has a auto field, an ID, which is the primary key because it's the identifier. Toppings is a many-to-many because obviously you can choose as many toppings as you want. Then there's the order model. And the order model is basically combines the pizzas. You can see foreign key pizza here. Combines pizza with the order. So the order will be your name, your address, your card, expiry, whatever, the date. So yeah, that's the models. You can see them here. Actually, let me run the server real quick. Just go to, if you look at the models page, we'll talk about this later, but on the models page, you can see them all here. And you can go in and you can add toppings. So I have the basic toppings here, but you can add more and whatnot. So that's the models. Then here is the, I guess, the admin.py. Here's registering all those models here, just so you can add them and stuff. And then here's the URLs. So we have 4 different URLs here. We have the base.html. We have our create pizza, which we'll call, I'll show the views later, but it'll call the create pizza view, and delivery details, where the customer will enter their details, their card expiry and their name and stuff. And the order confirmation will be where they see their confirmation. And here's the views. So the base request is base.html. That's the page you saw earlier. Create pizza. So pretty standard. I'm putting the pizza ID on the session because later on I want to call the pizza ID to display in the order confirmation down here. Otherwise, it's just calling the forms, and I'll show them as well. Here, the delivery details, because we're accepting user information here, we are going to first not commit the save, and we're going to be checking if the form is valid. Then we're going to get the pizza, and then we're going to save it. So basically, we take their form, and before we save it, then we redirect them to the order confirmation page. Again, we're calling the order form here, and in the order confirmation, which I'll show, we are getting the pizza object and then basically passing it to the render request. All right, here is the forms. So pizza form, we're just using the pizza model here. Size, crust, sauce, pizza toppings. Again, the pizza ID will be autofilled. So we have a widget here for the toppings just to show them in a selection box or multi-choice kind of thing. And then here's the order form. Now this one's kind of complicated, but so here we have this actually really cool thing, this widget here. This one that shows like a placeholder. So the user kind of gets an idea of what kind of information needs to be put in there, which is especially helpful for card expiry because sometimes how you enter the card expiry is different for each website. So here are the validators. They're kind of lengthy, but basically I'm making sure that you can't enter information that I don't want you to put in. For example, a name can't be empty, address can't be empty, your card number can only contain digits. I just try doing an int on it, casting it as an integer. If that doesn't work, well then it just raises an error. If it's not 16 digits, it tells you that it must be 16 digits. So yeah. there must be like a valid card number. Obviously, I can't actually verify if it's a card number because I'm not a bank, but if it's 16 digits, then it'll pass. Then the expiry. So this one's a little different. So again, we're casting them just to make sure that we're first of all taking the card expiry and we're splitting it. So because you'd be typing month / year. So we're splitting it. So we have a month string, we have a list, and we have a month string and a year string. We're just trying to cast them as integers to see if they're digits, because if you enter like hello as a year, it's not valid. So it'll say not a validate, try again format. And then there's a second check if the length of the expiry date is not equal to 2. So basically if it's not a month, or if the length is not of the year is not a year. So expiry date 1 is a year, expiry date 0 is the month. If the year is not 4, so basically if it's not like 2023 or something, then it will say not a valid date. And then there is a long if statement here, but basically what this means is if the year that's entered is smaller than the year that's current date, we're calling the current date here, we're using this function here, then it will card expired. Or if this is true, so if it is the current year, then if the month is smaller than the current month, so basically if it's the 1st 2023, it's this year, but it's also in the past because it's a month before us. So then it will raise a validation error, card has expired. Then there's the CCV or CVV. Again, same old. Casting as integer, if it doesn't work, only contain digits. And then it has to be equal to exactly 3 digits because every CVV is 3 digits. So that's the forms. And then the, I showed the URLs, showed the views, forms. I guess here's the admin. Here's where I'm registering the models. And yeah, so here's the base.html. So this is the base website. It's not very interesting. I'm using paper CSS here. And you might notice this is my own CSS. So I'm not calling the paper CSS from the website. I have just it in here. I just saved the entire CSS file here. And then I have my own style sheet where I'm editing certain attributes or classes that I want to edit. So that's the CSS. And then here is the create a pizza. It's a little unordered list here, the list item. That's literally it. This page is just the name of the site, which is pizza time, and a create a pizza little button. Then they'll be redirected to this page, create pizza.html, which is just basically where the form is. I'm using the form as P Django thing here. And then there's a button at the end. Also CSRF token, we've gone over that. Then the pizza button here that creates the pizza, and then that's it. Create your pizza. These classes here are just paper CSS classes. They're just editing the stuff, formatting it the way I want it. Then delivery details. This one was a little harder. So these are all separate divs for each of the delivery details. I have a basically a tag. This is name, and then form.name, and then another div here that I've called error list. And this one has the form errors. So our form, when it raises errors, it can show those errors per entry field, which is pretty cool. And it'll show below the actual, like, where you're supposed to enter the stuff. So that the user will definitely know if they've gone wrong. And then, yeah, so we submit order button here, and then order confirmation. This is where they'll be redirected if nothing goes wrong, essentially. Your order's been placed successfully. And then there's a list here of their order. So because we're using pizza on the session, we're just calling pizza here because in our, if I check it in our views here, we are passing the pizza object from on the session, and we're calling it here basically. So, and this toppings is just a list. It just basically does a little for loop, and yeah, and then that's it. And I'll show how the website works. Let me just go back to this here. Pizza time. So create a pizza. We are going to create, it's also mobile friendly. See if we're on, it's a little mobile friendly thing. So if you're on your phone ordering a pizza, size, we're going to select large. This is all paper CSS here. We're going to go gluten free. I guess barbecue sauce, not my liking, but vegan cheese, why not? And then we can select any number of toppings. Why don't we just select them all? Create pizza. And then we redirect to this page, again mobile friendly, but we're going to enter our name, which is going to be Sam. And the address will be DCU Glasnevin. Card number, we're going to make sure that it's not 16 digits just to show you how that works. And also, if we don't, I'll show what happens if we don't enter a field. Card expire will be an expire date, just to show you what that looks like. And then the card TCV, right? So obviously won't let you submit because this needs to be filled. Just gonna put in anything. So now an errors will be raised. So it says card number must be exactly 16 digits. Card expired. You know the deal. So we'll make sure that it's 10, 16. Cards expired. Let's set it to 2025, and it must be exactly 3 digits. So there we go. The order is submitted. We have this really nice alert here, and our order details, basically a breakdown of what we ordered. So we ordered a large gluten-free pizza, barbecue sauce, vegan cheese, and a bunch of toppings. And you can click create a pizza and it'll bring you right back. I just want to show you in the admin page what that looks like, because I could be making it up. So here's our pizza. It's a large gluten-free pizza that I just made. You can click on it and see all the attributes. So it's a large gluten-free, and the cool thing is we can look at orders, and my name shows up, Sam's order, because that's the name we put in. If I go back to models, you see when we call str here, it's actually called self names order, which is pretty cool. So it shows my order. The address is DCU, and there's the card number, card expiry, card CVV, and the pizza that we've actually been assigned here. So that's it basically. That's the site. That's everything working as intended. I'm really happy with how it looks. I think it's really clean. I love paper CSS, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.